In the era of high-speed trains and airplanes, the convenience of modern travel often goes unnoticed. The ease and safety we enjoy today, especially, prompt a reflection on how our ancestors navigated journeys in contrast to our experiences. This raises the question, what were the historical modes of travel, and how did they differ from our contemporary conveniences? Today, we will talk about the amazing ways ancient Chinese people explored the world. Beginning thousands of years ago, China has a lengthy and illustrious history of exploration at its disposal. During their historical period, the ancient Chinese people were pioneers in a variety of fields, including courageous land travelers who traveled across huge deserts and mountains, as well as daring sailors who braved the high seas. As a result of their travels, not only did they increase their knowledge of the world, but they also left an indelible mark on culture, commerce, and diplomatic relations. The pioneering of land exploration. During the early years of Chinese culture, the primary manner in which discovery was conducted was through land. There was a network of commercial routes that went from China to the Mediterranean that was known as the Silk Road. This network was one of the most important arteries of discovery. Exchange of products, ideas, and civilizations took place along the Silk Road, which was utilized by merchants, travelers, and missionaries. In order to establish connections with faraway regions, they were willing to endure difficult circumstances, such as sweltering deserts and perilous mountain routes. Zhang Qian, a diplomat from the Han Dynasty who traveled to Central Asia, is a significant example of early land exploration. Zhang Qian's first expedition took place in the 2nd century BCE. The expeditions that Zhang Qian accomplished not only resulted in the establishment of diplomatic connections with new kingdoms, but they also resulted in the opening of commercial channels and the provision of vital knowledge regarding the topography and cultures of the region, the acceptance of the seas. In the early centuries of Chinese history, land travel was the predominant mode of transportation, yet the ancient Chinese also established a sophisticated maritime heritage. By the time of the Song Dynasty, they had constructed sophisticated vessels that were able to navigate the perilous waters of the South China Sea and the Indian Ocean. Zheng He, a Muslim eunuch, is considered to be one of the most well-known nautical explorers of this era. Between the years 1405 and 1433, he led 7 epic trips for the purpose of exploring the Indian Ocean. Zheng He's huge fleets, which included hundreds of ships and tens of thousands of soldiers, traveled all the way to East Africa. Not only did they establish diplomatic connections with more than 30 countries, but they also brought back unusual goods and information. China's influence in the world was enhanced as a result of the voyages of Zheng He and other maritime explorers. These journeys also made a vital contribution to the development of cartography and navigational methods. Celestial navigation, compass readings, and intricate star charts were the methods that Chinese mariners utilized in order to precisely calculate their paths across huge distances. Investigative instruments and methods of technology. Furthermore, the ancient Chinese were not only daring explorers, but they were also inventors who devised tools and technology that made it easier for them to travel. The creation of the compass, which most likely took place during the 3rd and 2nd centuries before the Common Era, was a game-changer in the field of navigation, since it offered a dependable method of determining the direction of travel. Gunpowder was primarily utilized for the purpose of launching pyrotechnics and weaponry. However, it soon made its way onto ships, where it was utilized for the purpose of propelling rockets and cannons. Gunpowder was invented in China on or around the 9th century CE. Astrolabe. Around the 8th century CE, Chinese astronomers and sailors adopted the astrolabe, which is an instrument that is used to measure the altitude of celestial bodies. This instrument assisted them in determining their latitude and longitude. The junk. The junk is a sort of wooden sailing ship that distinguishes itself by having square sails. It was built in China about the 2nd century BCE and became the workhorse of Chinese nautical exploration. Junks were well-built, seaworthy vessels that were able to transport substantial amounts of merchandise. The imprint of Chinese exploration on the world. An enduring legacy has been left on the world by the spirit of exploration that the ancient Chinese people possessed. Their travels paved the way for the establishment of new trade lines, created opportunities for cultural interchange, and broadened the scope of knowledge. They also left behind a substantial body of work, including works of art, artifacts, and literature, which gives us an insight into the incredible accomplishments they accomplished. The rich tapestry of exploration that the ancient Chinese had to offer goes well beyond the realm of simple trade routes and diplomatic missions. Their travels were like threads that were woven into the fabric of history. They not only were responsible for molding their own culture, but they also left indelible impressions on the stage of the world. Rich blend of cultural interaction. The Silk Road was not only a route for the transportation of spices and silks, it was also a bustling marketplace for the exchange of cultural ideas. The dusty trails were walked by Buddhist monks who shared their teachings and practices with others. They left behind a legacy of temples and pagodas that serve as testaments to their trip. In addition to Buddhism, artists, musicians, and scholars shared their thoughts with one another, which resulted in the cross-pollination of different artistic styles and philosophical schools. The reverberations of this conversation can be seen in the motifs that are common to both Chinese and Central Asian art, the merging of musical traditions, and the development of philosophical thought. Approaching the stars through the lens of celestial navigation. The Chinese were not only very competent navigators of the terrain on Earth, but they were also pioneers in the field of celestial navigation. They were able to calculate their journey across huge oceans because of their detailed star charts, such as the Dunhuang star map, which recorded the heavens with an astounding level of accuracy. This command of the celestial bodies not only made their journeys easier, but it also contributed to the development of astronomical knowledge. Through their views of the heavens, they contributed to the invention of calendars and sundials, which in turn enriched the understanding of time and space for future generations. The power of cartography. When it came to documenting their travels, the Chinese were extremely thorough. They diligently recorded sites, routes, and cultural contacts while compiling extensive travelogues and maps of their traveling experiences. Not only did these early maps, such as the Ma Jun map, function as useful navigating tools, but they also offered extremely valuable insights into the topography and customs of the places that they traveled. This passion for mapping created the groundwork for subsequent maps of the world, which in turn shaped the way in which we understand our planet and the relationships that exist between its many parts. A legacy that will last forever. The legacy left behind by ancient Chinese exploration surpasses the boundaries of history in a significant way. The inventions that they made, such as the compass and gunpowder, continue to have an impact on our lives in a variety of different ways. The sophisticated shipbuilding techniques that they use, which can be seen in the design of current junks, are a source of admiration and curiosity. Even their method of celestial navigation, which centered on diligent observation and detailed documentation, has repercussions in the contemporary scientific method. The spirit of exploration that was prevalent among the ancient Chinese people was not merely a transient chapter in history. Rather, it was a tapestry that was being woven into the fabric of the world. In addition to paving the way for scientific discoveries and laying the groundwork for our comprehension of the world around us, their travels made it possible for people to interact with one another from different cultural backgrounds. Despite the fact that we are standing on the shoulders of these courageous explorers, their legacy continues to motivate us to aspire for the stars and push the limits of what we know and where we can go. So guys, let me know your thoughts down in the comments section below. For more interesting content, give this video a thumbs up and don't forget to subscribe to the channel for more awesome content. Have a nice day, and I will see you in the next video.